Now in this section, we are going to configure the product's API endpoint, and we are going to fetch the data and display here in this area. Right now the data is coming from a file, so that we are going to cancel. So let's go to the React coding. Now inside the actions folder, we have the index.js, where the product data array is also populated. So this get products is the action creator which does the job. Now this is where we are going to configure the API. Alright, so here we are going to make the AJAX call. So I'm going to say await. Axios is the object where I'm defining that the method is the get request, and the URL, I'm going to copy the URL. Now this will fetch the data which is returned as a promise, and that we are going to manipulate. Let me also configure the catch here. If there is any error, we can handle it. Now this is where I'm going to configure the data display. So first let's catch the error, and inside try, the data which we are going to receive will have a specific format when we display it. So let's do that. I'll say let product list is equal to response.data.data, and there will be a map method. So I'm going to loop through the data here. So this object we are going to return from it. So I'm copying it. This was the fixed data we had. Now that's the same format in which we are going to return. But instead of fixed value, now we will have the dynamic value fetched from the API. I'll say item.product image. This is the field name in the database. Item.product name and the price. Now we are going to configure the dispatch for this. I'll say action types.product. That's the action we have defined as a constant. Now the data is passed here in the get product parameter, which we are writing straight away. And here I'm going to call the action creator with the product list. So here the product list is this variable which we have retrieved from the map method, and that data generated is assigned to product list that we are passing to the action creator. Let me just save this. Now here we don't need to change at reducer level because we have converted the desired format of product data. Now let's go to the components and we open the index.js for product. And here we have use effect dispatch. Now here get products itself is called. Now let's check the output. Now you can see that the product data which was entered inside the database is fetched. But you can also observe that image is not getting displayed. The reason is earlier the images were stored on the local machine, but now because the data is fetched from the server, the images have to be on the server only. So now to configure the image to make the images section work properly, there are a few things I am doing here. Let's check on that. The first thing is I'm going to copy the images folder on the server. I'm creating a folder named upload, which is going to serve the static images. This I'm doing on the server side. Now the images which we have, those images I'm going to copy and paste on the server, that is right now in the specific folder called upload. Now on the server side, we need to define the static path. So Express framework helps you to do that. So I'm going to say app.use express.static, and uploads is the folder which is a static path. This line you need to add on the server side to configure the static path for uploads folder. So now let's go to the browser, and because we have configured the static path, so the root is configured as static, inside which we have image folder. So when you say root, it means by default uploads is the folder configured because of that express.static statement. Now uploads is the static path configured as root. So after uploads there is an image folder. So I will directly say here /img/shop/shop-1.jpg. Now you see that the file is served. So on the server side, we have made sure that by configuring the uploads folder as static, it is defined as the root folder for the assets. Now let's go back to the client side coding. And here with the image source, I'm going to say http://localhost 5000/ and I'm going to use the $sign, the template literal, the new feature of ES6. Now let's save this and check output on the client side. Now you can see that all the images are getting displayed properly. So now we are done with the client side interface with categories and products both.